Hi, in this lecture we will talk about air terminals in general, and in the coming lectures we will talk about the air terminals that we will select or use in this project in details and how to select them. First, let's define the air terminal. Air terminal is a component in ducted system and it's the end point where air enters the spaces or rooms, as you can see in this picture. The ducts move the air from equipment to air terminals, then from air terminals to the space. We have different types of air terminals: diffusers, slot linear diffuser, grills and registers, disc valve, jet nozzles, and the perforated diffuser. The most common known air terminal is the diffuser. The first diffuser is the square diffuser. We have different types. One way, as you can see in this picture, the air will move in this way only. Next, two ways diffuser. The air moves in two directions. For example, in corridor where the corridor width is short, we can use this kind of diffuser. Next, third way, and finally the four-way diffuser. Four-way square diffuser is the most common used one. Where to use square diffuser? As I said before, the first point that we have to take into our consideration when we choose air terminal is the architectural finishes. So where do we put the square ceiling diffuser? We use it in case the architectural engineers use 600 by 600 removable tiles. So we can remove one tile and replace it with a diffuser, a square diffuser. There is two important sizes when we talk about the square diffusers. The neck size, which we make the design and sizing for, and the face size. We will learn how to find the neck size in the next lecture. The standard neck sizes in most catalogs as follows: in inches and between brackets in millimeter. First one is 6 inch by 6 inch or 150 millimeter by 150 millimeter. Then 9 inches by 9 inches or 225 by 225. Then 12 inches, 15 inches, 18 inches, 21, and finally 24 by 24 or 600 by 600 millimeter. So these are the standard neck sizes that we select from them. With regards to face size, we don't make design for it because it's usually 600 by 600 to replace one tile. So it's not something to be designed, but you can find less than 600 by 600 diffusers. For example, this diffuser neck is a 300 by 300 and the face is 450 by 450. They make opening in one tile, the opening dimension 450 by 450, and they can fix it no problem. But again, the important size is the neck size, not the face size. Next, the duct connection. The diffuser can be connected to the duct system by a rigid duct, as you can see in this image, or by flexible duct with a plenum box. We will talk about flexible duct and the plenum box, but for now, this is the flexible duct, and this box above the diffuser is the plenum box. We will talk about them in details in the coming lectures. Another type of diffusers is the round diffuser, same as square diffuser, but we use this one in case we have gypsum board false ceiling, not 600 by 600 removable tiles, because the round diffuser looks better than the square diffuser. Next, slot linear diffuser. We can sort them into two categories. First category is slot width, inches and in millimeter. First slot width is half inch or 16 millimeter. What is the slot? If you look to this image, this opening is the slot, and the width for the first type is 16 millimeter. The next size 20 millimeter, next slot size 20 millimeter, and next slot size 25 millimeter. Next category, we can categorize them based on the slot number. We have 1 slot to 8 slots. This one in this picture is 3 slots linear diffuser, 1, 2, 3. With regards to the length of this diffuser, the length is not limited. We can fix 2 or more linear diffusers to make unlimited length of linear diffusers. With regards to neck size, most common available sizes are 6 inches or 150 millimeter, 200 millimeter, and 250 millimeter. We will learn how to design or how to select the neck in the coming lectures. We use this type if the architectural engineers use gypsum board for ceiling in a rectangular shaped spaces, like in this room, in this image. We usually connect this plenum box to the system by flexible duct. The most common used slot diffuser is 1.2 meter, which is equal to 4 feet. In the coming lectures, we will see that most of the air terminals catalogs are using the British units, so we need to convert the 1.2 meter to feet. 2 slots, the number of slots. Each slot width is equal to 20 millimeter. So this linear slot diffuser is the most common used diffuser, and this diffuser provides around 100 liter per second, which is equal to 210 CFM. We will learn how to select this diffuser in the coming lectures. Is the 1 meter in length, 3 slots, the number of slots, and 20 millimeter for each slot. This diffuser gives around 100 liter per second. We will see the flow and how to select it from catalog in the coming lectures. Next, grills and registers. This is the grill. We have different standard sizes. We will see that when we select the grill from catalog. Where to put it? We put it on vertical false ceiling, or what we call bulkhead. We usually see it in hotel rooms and in apartments. To connect it to the system, we use rigid duct. What is the register? It's same as grill, but with volume control damper. We will talk about dampers in the coming lectures as well. But we put on the grill volume damper, and its name after placing the volume damper, we call it register. And we use the volume damper to control the flow. Next, we have the disc valve. We have 3 different sizes: 100 millimeter, 150 millimeter, and 200 millimeter. We will learn how to select it when we discuss the toilet ventilation, as we put this type in toilets. Next, we have jet nozzles. We use it in open spaces when the height of the space is 5 meters and above, like in mall atrium and airports double volume. Finally, we have the perforated diffusers. We use it mostly in hospitals, in operation rooms with HEPA filter to make laminar flow. Why we need laminar flow? To control air movement, to sweep containments away from sterile zone, and to make comfortable area for the patient and the doctors. In addition, turbulence air increase the opportunity for air mixing, which can cause pathogens to spread. So that was just a brief introduction. In the next 3 lectures, we will talk in details about the air terminals that we will use in this project, how to select them from catalog, and how to distribute them in the space. Thank you very much, and see you in the next lecture.